Worried about ICE coming to your door? Worried about being stopped by ICE? Worried about being deported? Worried about going to jail? 2 hours that could change everything. There is a specific kind of dread that comes from knowing a risk exists and choosing not to think about it. Most immigrant families in America right now are living inside that dread. They know in some part of their awareness that the enforcement environment has changed. They know they should probably do something. And then the week gets busy. The kids need help with homework. There is a restaurant to run or a shift to work, and the thing that should be addressed gets pushed forward another week. This chapter is the antidote to that cycle. Not because reading it will eliminate your risk. It will not. But because the preparation described here is genuinely not complicated, genuinely does not require significant money, and genuinely can be completed in a weekend. The plan has 5 components: documents, contacts, legal authority, financial continuity practice. We will go through each one completely. Component 1. The document package, the foundation of every family emergency plan, is a physical package of documents, original or certified copies of everything that matters, stored in a location that every adult family member knows, in a format that can be grabbed in 30 seconds. Immigration attorneys call this the Go folder. It is not a metaphor. It is a literal folder, preferably in a water-resistant envelope or a small fireproof document box, containing the following items: for every adult member of the household, a copy of every immigration document they currently hold or have held. This means green cards, visas, employment authorization documents, advance parole documents, I-94 arrival and departure records, and any notices or decisions from USCIS or an immigration court. It also means the original naturalization certificate, if the person is a citizen. It means every passport, current and expired, because prior passports contain entry and exit stamps that document travel history, which is legally significant. For every child in the household, birth certificates for us, born children. These are the most important documents in a mixed status family because they establish citizenship that cannot be taken away. For foreign-born children who are U.S. citizens through a parent, certificates of citizenship or consular reports of birth abroad. For children who are not U.S. citizens, whatever immigration documents they hold. For the household generally, copies of lease agreements or mortgage documents that establish residency, utility bills or bank statements that establish address history, tax returns for the past 3 years, and social security cards for every family member who has one. For any pending immigration case, copies of all filed applications, all receipt notices, all biometrics appointment notices, and any correspondence from USCIS. The Immigration Court or the Board of Immigration Appeals. Everything in this folder should be copied. The copies go in the Go folder. The originals go somewhere else. A safe, a trusted family member's home, a safe deposit box. You never want a situation where an agent takes the only copy of a document that your attorney will need. The Go folder itself should be stored somewhere that every adult in the household knows about and can reach in 30 seconds from any room in the home. It should not require unlocking or searching. The goal is that in the middle of a stressful enforcement encounter, any adult family member can retrieve this folder without hesitation. Own More item belongs in the Go folder, a 1-page summary in both English and Chinese of every family member's immigration status, the name and contact information of your immigration attorney, and the name and contact information of every trusted adult who has a role in your family emergency plan. This summary exists so that whoever is left at home after an arrest, a spouse, an older child, a family friend who comes to help, has the complete picture immediately, without having to reconstruct it from memory under stress. Component 2, the contact list in the hours immediately following an arrest. The family's ability to act effectively depends entirely on who they can reach and how quickly. This component of the plan is about building that contact infrastructure before you need it. The first and most important contact is an immigration attorney, not a general practice attorney who handles some immigration matters, not a notario, not a paralegal service. A licensed immigration attorney whose practice focuses on removal defense and who has experience representing clients in detention proceedings in your federal judicial district. This person should be identified, retained for at least a brief consultation. and have your family's basic information on file before any enforcement encounter occurs. The practical question is how to find such an attorney if you do not already have one. The American Immigration Lawyers Association directory at ila.org allows you to search by location and practice area. Local immigrant rights organizations in major Chinese American communities. The Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights in Los Angeles. The New York Immigration Coalition. The Illinois Coalition for Immigrant and Refugee Rights maintain referral lists. Many immigration attorneys offer initial consultations at reduced or no cost. Once you have identified an attorney, save their number in every adult's phone under a name that is immediately recognizable in a crisis. Many families use ICE Lawyer in all caps as the contact name, so that in the worst moment the right number is findable in 3 seconds. Write the number on the Know Your Rights card in your wallet, post it on your refrigerator. Make sure your oldest child who can use a phone has it memorized or saved. The second contact is a trusted adult outside your household, who can serve as the emergency coordinator if both parents are detained simultaneously. This person needs to know their role before any crisis occurs. They need to have a key to your home or know where one is. They need to know where the Go folder is. They need to know the children's school, doctor, and daily routine. They need to be someone who can drop everything and come immediately. The third set of contacts is the broader support network, your children's school, so that a trusted adult can be added to the pickup authorization list. Your children's doctor, so that someone other than you has medical decision-making authority in an emergency. Your employer or business partner, so that someone can manage your professional obligations if you are detained. The fourth contact is a bail bond agent or a source of funds for immigration bond. Immigration bond amounts vary widely. They can range from a few $1,000s to tens of thousands, and the ability to post bond quickly can mean the difference between being released within days and spending weeks or months in a detention facility while your case proceeds. Knowing in advance how you would access those funds, savings, family support, a community organization that provides bond assistance is part of the plan. Component 3, legal authority documents. This is the component that most families skip because it requires an appointment with a notary and feels like something you can do later. It is also the component whose absence, in a real enforcement scenario, creates the most severe practical consequences for children. The durable power of attorney for minor children is a legal document that designates a specific adult by name with their acceptance, to make decisions about your children's care, education, and medical treatment in the event that you are unable to do so. In most states, this document must be notarized to be legally effective. It should specify the name and relationship of the designated guardian, the scope of authority being granted, the conditions under which it takes effect, and a duration or expiration date. This document should be prepared for both parents separately, so that if one parent is detained and the other is the remaining caregiver, the remaining parent has this authority documented. And so that if both parents are detained simultaneously, the designated adult can act immediately without going to court. Notary services are available at most banks, at UPS stores, at many public libraries, and through mobile notary services that can come to your home. The cost is typically under $20 per document. The immigration attorney who drafts the power of attorney document may charge a modest additional fee for the preparation. The total cost for this component of the plan is almost certainly under $200. If you have financial accounts, property, or a business, you also need a financial power of attorney, a separate document that gives a trusted person the authority to access accounts, pay bills, and manage assets on your behalf if you are detained. Without this document, your bank accounts may be effectively inaccessible to your family, your rent or mortgage may go unpaid, and your business may be unable to operate. All during a period when your family most needs financial stability. Both of these documents should be prepared by an attorney, not completed using a generic online template. The specific requirements for these documents vary by state, and a document that does not comply with state law requirements may not be honored by the institutions that need to rely on it. Copies of both documents go in the Go folder. Additional copies go to the designated guardian, to your financial institution, and for the child guardianship document to your children's school. Component 4, financial continuity. An arrest and detention does not pause your financial obligations. Rent is still due. Utilities still need to be paid. If you run a business, payroll still needs to be met. If you have a car payment or mortgage, those obligations continue. The families who are most devastated by an enforcement encounter are often those who, in addition to the human and legal crisis, face a financial collapse in the weeks following the arrest, because no one had authority to access accounts and no provisions had been made. The financial continuity component of your plan has several elements. First, ensure that a trusted person other than yourself has access to at least one financial account. This may mean adding a joint account holder to a checking account, or it may mean ensuring that your financial power of attorney covers the accounts your family relies on for daily expenses. The goal is that within 24 hours of an arrest, the person managing your family's finances can pay bills and access funds without going to court. Second, maintain a cash reserve that is physically accessible. In a scenario where electronic accounts are temporarily frozen or inaccessible, having a modest cash reserve, enough to cover 2 weeks of essential expenses, that is stored somewhere known to your trusted emergency contact, provides a crucial buffer. Third, make a list of every recurring financial obligation: rent or mortgage, utilities, insurance premiums, loan payments, subscriptions, with the account numbers, due dates, and payment methods for each. This list goes in the Go folder. The person managing your finances in your absence needs to be able to see the complete picture of your obligations without reconstructing it. Fourth, if you own a business, have a business continuity plan that is separate from your personal plan. Who has signature authority on business accounts? Who can authorize payroll? Who knows the vendors and their payment schedules? Who can open the restaurant or the shop on Monday morning if you were arrested on Sunday? These are questions that need to be answered in advance, not improvised in the middle of a crisis. Fifth, understand your bond options before you need them. Immigration bond, as noted above, can range from a few thousand to tens of thousands of dollars. Bond funds must typically be posted in cash or through a bond agent, and the process of arranging bond from the outside while a family member is in detention is logistically complicated. Knowing in advance that you have family members who can contribute, an immigration bail bond agent whose number is in your contacts, or a community organization in your area that provides bond assistance. This knowledge, established before a crisis, is part of financial preparedness. Component 5, practice. This is the component that feels most unnecessary and that makes the most difference. Every adult member of your household should practice the 3 responses that Chapter 4 identified as the foundation of an effective ICE encounter. Do not open the door, do not answer questions, and do not sign anything. Practice does not mean reading these principles and agreeing with them. Practice means physically rehearsing them until they are automatic, until the right response in a stressful situation is not something you have to remember, but something your body does without thinking. This means actually standing at your front door and practicing speaking through it. Practicing saying in English and in Chinese the sentences you will say to an agent on the other side. Practicing the tone, calm, clear, firm, not hostile, that is most effective and least likely to escalate an encounter. Practicing what to do with your hands, where to stand, how to position yourself so that the door, if opened slightly, does not invite entry. It means your children knowing what to do. Older children should know not to open the door if they are home alone or if parents are unavailable. They should know the attorney's phone number. They should know the word attorney in English, because saying "I want to speak with my attorney" is a right that extends to minors in immigration encounters. They should know where the Go folder is. They should know the name of the adult who is their designated guardian if both parents are unavailable. Practice should happen as a family conversation, not as a lecture from one parent to another. The goal is that every person in the household, regardless of age, regardless of immigration status, regardless of English proficiency, knows their role and has practiced it enough to execute it under stress. Schedule this conversation for this weekend. 2 hours. Sit down together, go through the checklist, identify what you have and what you are missing. Assign tasks. Who will get the attorney's number? Who will get the power of attorney documents notarized? Who will organize the Go folder? Set a deadline of 2 weeks to complete everything on the list. Then put it in the calendar and do it. The Know Your Rights card, print this and carry it. The Know Your Rights card is the single most portable element of your family emergency plan. It should be printed, laminated if possible, and carried in every adult family member's wallet. Here is what it should say. On the front, in English, I am exercising my right to remain silent. I do not consent to a search. I want to speak with my attorney. Below that, the attorney's name and phone number, and the name and number of your emergency contact. On the back, in Chinese, the same 3 sentences, the same 2 phone numbers, and a brief statement of your immigration status for your attorney's reference. The card is not magic. It does not prevent an arrest. What it does is give you something concrete to fall back on in a moment when stress makes it difficult to remember anything. It gives your attorney immediate context when you call. It gives any family member, including a child, a tool they can use in an encounter even if their English is limited. Print it today before you do anything else in this chapter. It costs nothing and takes 5 minutes, and it is better to have it in your wallet tonight than to mean to make it and not get to it for another month.